Go.
Y'all, Kishana just broke our heart. I just need you to know that.
I ain't break nobody's hearts.
You kind of slightly. But we forgive you nonetheless. Because we're on our girls' trip and
we're off the rails.
A good time.
Very good time.
We've been having a good time, y'all. It's lit! And I'm having fun. Well, this is our girls' trip. And we decided, we just gonna give y'all a fresh start. We're about to head into a new year. We're just gonna go ahead and give y'all some new, ready to
November.
go. I know. Like, this adulthood bullshit is
it's overrated.
It's bullshit.
I want to return.
A refund. The fact that it's goddamn November and I feel like we just started last year. Yeah. Like, I don't even... Okay.
I remember January 1st, 2021.
Right. I remember January 1st, 2020.
That as well.
Dealing with a major hangover.
Yeah.
Then shit happened.
Right. 3 months later, who would have thought?
Well, anywho, we're going to give you some bonus content because, once again, we're going to just give y'all a fresh new season and end it where we left it, which was, I think, on a good note.
I think
feel
so,
like
too.
We ended it pretty, kind of early 2000s, where you don't get a fair ending, but it's still a just ending. We're going to give you a little bit of that. So at least it's not too bad. But
all Netflix shows, it's the ending you got.
You paid for that.
You paid for that shit. 14, maybe $17.99.
Mm-hmm.
They're wilding.
They are.
Anyways, so this is gonna be our bonus episode, and to be honest, I'm so excited.
Yeah,
this is a new venture for us.
Yes,
so we
is.
finally get to spill the tea. We got 2 letters. You said?
Yes.
We got 2 letters from our advice column.
We've been asking for this shit for the whole season, and now y'all finally came through.
Yes, and you came juicy.
Juicy.
Kelly is the only one who has actually read the letters, so
yes.
me and Kishana have no clue.
Nope.
What's in these damn letters?
Yep.
So this will be interesting. So, Miss Kelly,
don't forget.
Okay.
Grab your teas.
Yes.
I got my tea. It's ginger.
I mean, I got water.
I got a mimosa.
I must have make me a mimosa.
Make us a mimosa.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty. So we ready to go? This is a long one.
It's
so
okay.
Hold on to your bra straps and your jock straps.
How do you want to do this, though?
tighten
Do
my
you want to,
bra strap,
like,
is
break
that okay?
and we talk about it piece by piece? Or you want to read the whole thing?
No,
out?
read the
freestyle
whole
style.
thing. I need to hear the whole story.
Okay,
I need all of it.
So we're going to do this
You're gonna
strawberry letter style.
Strawberry
Yes.
letters.
All right, I'm fine with that.
Here we go.
Cheryl!
First of all, I try to be like her when I grow up.
I love Cheryl.
Don't we
She
all?
fly as hell.
She makes the Steve Harvey radio show.
Yes.
Anyway,
Love it.
continue.
Anyways.
Alrighty. So these are all anonymous too. So if you do send in your stuff, it's going to be anonymous unless otherwise spoken.
Beautiful.
So the first one is, hey girl, hey.
Hey.
I am
Hey,
the
boo.
manager of customer service team of about 10 to 12 members. Most of the team members are right out of school, and this is their first professional job, and their ages range from 22 to 24.
Okay.
I am about 10 years older than all of my employees. We have a great team and great working relationships. They all do great work, and we have established a great team culture. Well, a couple months ago, I noticed something odd that my team and other employees in the building started doing. They would see each other in the hallways or break room and say quack quack like a duck.
I'm sorry, what?
I assumed this was an inside joke and thought nothing of it and wrote it off as playful silliness, or thought I perhaps missed a moment in recent TV or movie to which the quacks were referring. Fast forward a few months, I needed to do some printing, and our printer is in the room that can be locked by anyone when it is in use. Our team often has large volumes of printing they need to do, and it helps to be able to sort things in there by yourself, as multiple people can get their pages mixed up and in turns into a mess. The door had been locked the entire day, and this was around noon, and the manager, I have the key to the door in case someone forgot to unlock it when they left. I walked in, and there were 2 of my employees on the couch in the copier room having sex. I immediately closed the door and left. This was last week, and as you can imagine, things are very awkward. between the three of us. I haven't addressed the situation yet because of a few factors. This was during both of their lunch hours. They were not doing this on the clock. They both clocked out and immediately checked. We have an understanding that you can go or do anything on your lunch that you want as long as you're back after an hour. The same day after my team had left, I was wrapping up and putting a meeting agenda on each of their desks for our meeting the next day. Out in broad daylight on the guy's desk, one of the employees I had caught in the printing room was a piece of paper at the top that said Duck Club. Underneath it, it had a list of locations of places in and around the office followed by points. 25 points equals the president's desk. 10 points equals the car in the parking lot.
God.
20 points equals the copier room, etc. So here's my theory about what's going on, and I think I'm right. This Duck Club is a club people at work where people get points for having sex in these locations around the office. I think it's also where the quacking comes into play.
Right.
Perhaps this is some weird mating call between members to let them know they want to get some points with the other person. And if they quack back, they meet up somewhere to score. The two I caught in the copier room, I have heard quacking before.
Oh my God.
I know this is all extremely weird. I wasn't even sure I wanted to write to you because of how weird it seems. Plus, I was a little embarrassed. Girl, you don't need to be embarrassed.
First of all,
this is not your
amazing.
ministry.
Right.
I have no idea what to do. As I mentioned above, they weren't on the clock when this happened. They're all adults, and technically I broke a rule by entering the copier room when it was locked, and would have never caught them if I had obeyed the rule. The only company rule I can think of that these two broke is using the copier room for other purposes, preventing someone else from using it. I would love to know y'all's opinion on this. I tend to want to sweep it under the rug because I'm kind of a shy person and would be extremely embarrassed to bring it up. Love y'all and your show. How's that?
First of all, I am.
Okay, what was the original question?
I'm sorry. What to do?
For a loop.
Okay, all right. So I just want to say this, and somebody may want to like punch me for saying this, but kudos to them for keeping this shit on the wraps as long as they've been keeping this shit on the wraps, because this shit was going smoothly until
somebody was stupid enough to leave the damn index on the damn desk exposed.
Right.
First of all, if you gonna be dishonest or sneaky, there's rules to that shit.
There is.
Out here having your business in the streets. The fuck.
I'm sorry if the inner office was doing this and upper management did not know. Kudos to them for keeping pleasure and business and games and play to each other.
Are they being productive? How much money are they making?
Exactly.
They're being ductive.
All right. I think so. If what they're doing isn't interrupting with the workflow of the office,
keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Keep it pushing.
Mm-hmm.
And then two, what is the HR policy when it comes to this? Because you're customer service, so I'm pretty sure customer service still has an HR policy regardless. So
see, there's having an HR policy and what is being excused by the leadership on a regular basis.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have to look into that part as well and see what role you're playing in all of this. Because you can either nip it in the butt or
and if you're a
leave it
woman of
alone.
color in this position trying to figure out what you want to do, once again, if
right,
the leadership is letting whoever do what they want to do on a regular basis, and this falls into that category, I'm gonna walk away personally.
Yeah.
Ain't none of my business. Don't be quacking at me though.
No, say that for the ducks for real.
Right.
Quack your
so that's
ass
all I
up.
want to know. I mean, that's what I really want to know, if they're breaking any actual policy, because you're saying
like they're not.
They're productive.
Except for the use of the copy room.
Right. It sounds like they've been productive this whole time, except for you finding out. But I mean, if they're not messing up the workflow and they're not being petty with each other outside of or weird with each other, and this is legit a game for them,
like as long as the CDC doesn't need to get involved, I say mind your business.
And hopefully they're protecting themselves the way they need to,
God that they are,
and there is no entanglements going on.
Well, they are entangled. Let's get that straight.
Oh, they
by ducking, but
it's like a game of what's that? with a red. There's like the multicolored dots. The multicolored dots.
Twister.
It's like Twister up in that bitch.
Yep. Oh my gosh. That's an experience at work.
That
I
sounds.
can't imagine.
I feel like the closest I've ever came to that is getting like inappropriate pictures during work and liking it.
Right, that's nothing compared to this.
Right.
Like, that's the most dirty I've really been. Like, if I'm being honest.
Or like a dirty text, and that's about it.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh no! After getting the first picture, it's inappropriate exchanges from there. There's no appropriateness after that.
No.
Especially if you like it. Oh yeah. Hey, how we doing?
More to come.
Hope you having a good day, baby.
Yeah, I don't know. But on an all serious note, I mean, if they're not breaking really any crazy company policy.
And also, if they're not, it sounds like they have a consent system.
Right.
So, as long as they're not making anyone feel like they're taking away their rights or freedoms, I'm gonna mind my business.
Right. Unless there's, unless there's any, like, real violations being broken, like any company policies when it comes to inter-office relationships and stuff like that. If none of that's being broken, mind your business. Yeah. Like, I guess.
Listen, it's like window shopping. It's fun to watch from the outside, but I don't want to go inside that bitch. I'm going to stay out here.
Right. I would suggest, like, bringing it up to the two and saying that, listen, if that's what you guys are going to be doing, like, please be smarter about it. Mm-hmm. But just.
No, I wouldn't acknowledge it because as a superior, if I acknowledge it, that means I know that it's happening.
Oh, and you become an asset. You become an asset. No.
And that's a hard no.
Mind your business.
I'm going to mind my business and keep pushing. I'm not going to acknowledge it, but I'm going to tell my boyfriend when I get home.
Right.
I promise you that. Like, bitch, you don't even know what just happened today.
Or every day, apparently.
Clearly. Whole swingers club up in my bitch.
Right. Oh, God.
That's funny.
It's very messy, but intriguing.
Wow.
Never heard of anything like that.
I mean, power to y'all for making the day, a lot more fun, but I'm tired.
Right.
I got a lot of work to do. I got too much work to do and not enough time. Mm-hmm. I need Beyonce hours, aka assistant.
Right.
No. I ain't got the time.
Oh my God.
Or the energy.
So we all agree? Mind your business?
Keep pushing, sis. Just leave it alone.
If you got to go in the copy room, make sure you knock.
Yep.
And take some Clorox wipes for your hands and some gloves and a mask.
Right. Because you obviously know.
Find the humor in this. Don't take anything too seriously. Like, I would be cracking the fuck up if I was you. Like, I'll be telling everybody I
because
know, like,
honestly,
you don't even know what's happening in my office.
When push comes to shove and you don't know shit, you're not aware of a shit. Mm-hmm. The day you walked into the copy room, you were legally blind. Yep. You don't know nothing.
You unlocked the door and immediately locked it. You kept it pushing. You said, actually, I'm good.
Because you realized that you were breaking the office policy of going into the copy room and it's locked. Exactly. Why is that the policy anyway?
Right.
First of all, the copy room should not be locked.
The copy room should always be open. It's the copy room.
Yeah, what you gonna do in there?
And we know now why it needs to be locked.
No, it should not be locked. I'm sorry. If I had a business, there's no reason why any one door except for mine should be locked because
or the bathroom. Like those are the only doors I can understand being locked.
Or my office. Yeah. Those are the only two places that should be, three places that should be locked.
Right.
Or four, depending on what kind of restroom situation you have.
Or maybe if there's some three places, that's it. Restroom, office, and that's it. Restroom, office, fire escape.
No, the three was my office, the female, and the male. And if I could afford a third, I'll do the third. But the family. That's the one that they like to use. Yes, the family.
Alrighty. Well, y'all know our opinions. I hope that helps.
Mind your business.
Mind the business that pays you.
All right, Kelly.
You ready for the next one?
Yes.
Are we?
Well, we're going to. Here we go. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hello. There is an issue I keep seeing popping up in the dating world. My view is torn, and I was hoping I could get your thoughtful perspective. I'll give you my personal example of this issue, but I see variants of it all the time. Many years ago, I started dating someone casually. I was very clear that I wasn't interested in a serious relationship, mentioning it several times, though I did care about them very much. It became clear very quickly that they were in love with me. This wasn't uncomfortable for me, and they didn't ask for more than I was willing to give, but I knew that we wanted different things and that ultimately they were going to get their heart broken. I took the perspective that they were an adult and could make their own decisions. And if they chose to still be involved with me, despite knowing that there was a difference in what we wanted, then that was their choice to make. I didn't want to make the decision to end the relationship for their own good. Now I'm not sure that approach was the right one to take. I still believe people should have self-determination, but in a situation where someone is impaired by strong emotions / self-esteem issues, etc., are they actually in a position to make that judgment themselves? I would never hook up with someone who was drunk, so why is it okay to do the same with someone drunk on love? Mm-hmm. Knowing that they were not going to get what they wanted and that I essentially held all the power, was it my responsibility to stop things going on for as long as they did or not start them at all? I'm caught between not wanting to make people's decisions for them and not wanting to engage in behavior that I know will ultimately hurt someone. How do I be good here? Thanks. How to be a good person.
From listening to this, you answered your own question, and you honestly did, because I don't think you realize that you know the answer to this question, which is you let them know. Yeah. You answered that question because you know that's the right thing to do.
I also want to know some pre-context of like how old is this person versus the person they're in this situationship with.
I'm just going to assume that they're young adults, maybe somewhere in their 20s. Yeah. I assume so.
Yeah. Listen, the 30s and 40s are still messy out here in these streets.
That's true.
I like knowing backstory, but yes, I would agree.
You did answer your own question.
You need to tell them, because there's a difference of being drunk in love and not seeing the red flags or whatever it is that is just not a good match.
Yeah.
But there's being the person who's conscious of the bad decisions and still choosing to keep moving forward in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For your own reasoning.
Yeah. And then a lot of the times you have to remember that there's people who are there when they're quote unquote drunk on love, and then they have this mindset of, I'm going to stay because it's going to be reciprocated one day. It's going to be the same one day. Like, I don't want to give up now, and then tomorrow it changes. And that's another part of it that happens too. So maybe that's where that person's at,
or even
that you're speaking about,
being happy in the moment and not wanting to ruin it. Because that's also a thing where you're just so happy in the moment with this person and how you're feeling and all the emotions and this and that, and you don't want it to end.
Yeah. Because unfortunately, sometimes you just don't want to rip off the Band-Aid and then have regrets.
Because reality's a bitch.
I think that's the biggest part. About it, too, is ripping off that Band-Aid. I know you don't want to rip the Band-Aid, and I know the other person doesn't want to rip the Band-Aid either. Because maybe it is something that they see, and they just have that smidge of hope that it's going to blossom into something bigger. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to miss that opportunity. So I get it. I get why this person is still sticking it out and sticking around and being blindly in love, but I don't even think it's blindly in love.
It's something, but as the person who, I would say out of the three of us, had the most friends with benefits situationships.
Gotta rip that Band-Aid.
Out of the three of us, I would say confidently, as I got older and started noticing things that were either toxic or just not good for either of us, red flags on either end, like me being toxic towards that person or vice versa. Like, once I started noticing that stuff, I started cutting that shit out, and I started becoming real blunt.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why my last Friends with Benefits was my last, because I was just literally as cutthroat as possible. I was like, nope, you're voiding your contract. You're asking for wifey shit for a Friends with Benefits shit. That's not the same thing.
Yeah.
If you want to upgrade your contract, that costs a whole lot more. We're not doing that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think, and I'm speaking from a person who was misled. So I'm speaking from that perspective as well. Like, there's a point where you're on the leading end.
Come from.
Right. And it comes from like the being led end. Because if you know that this person is quote unquote drunk and in love with you, like, you have a role to play in this as well, because you see this more clearly than the other person. So I do feel like you have a due diligence not only to the other person but also to yourself to say something.
Well,
that's how I feel.
You have after it's done, where you're like, why the fuck did I let myself go through
right, but that's on the end of you being led on.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, at the end of it, there typically that's the emotions that people who get drawn in have felt was, why the fuck would I let that shit happen? How did I not see that was a big ass red flag? Like, American flag size on the Liberty Bell, fucking giant red flag.
No, I get it. Because that's how I felt after. So it's just like, why did I let myself get let on for so long? Like,
you feel so stupid.
So that's why I say that you have a due diligence on being on the end of the receiving end of whatever this person is exuding to you. Like, you have your responsibility to say, if it's a dude or whoever, to say, hey, I hope you understand that what we're doing is not gonna lead to anything uber romantic, not leading to us being a couple or anything like that. Like, my intentions are still the same from the minute I entered this. Yeah, it's just casual. We just hang out and smash, and then we keep pushing. Yeah, I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm not looking for a boyfriend. I'm not looking for an entitlement and entanglement. You're not looking for any of that.
It is the respectfully honest.
Yeah. Because that would actually, like I said before, a lot of people have this mentality of, maybe if I hold on, it'll become what I want. And that's who I was. And that's what I held on to. The one itty bitty smidge of it being something more. That late night cuddle where you fall asleep with that person. It's those little feelings that make you feel like it could be something more. And if that's not what it is, just send me home. Like,
listen to Pastor Kashana. She's telling the truth.
Yeah, because that shit sucks to be on that end. It fucking sucks to be on that end. Because that shit changes your perspective for years. Like, for eternity.
We talked about this weekend. We talked about the wanting to fight for your marriage and willing to let your marriage go.
Yeah.
And all three of us agree that you're going to fight for something that seems worth the fight until it doesn't show as worth the fight anymore.
Or you tell me, or you show me that you have stopped fighting.
Or you tell me to shut that shit the fuck down.
Then I'm going to stop.
Either way, I'm going to fight for what's mine, because if I commit to something, I'm going to commit to something. But if you're not ready to commit to anything, there's no need to let the person who wants the commitment keep attaching themselves along and having these little piggyback moments. And there's no winning end for them. They're going to be heartbroken either way. You draw it out, or you end it, or you just nip it in the bud. Like, yo, you want to keep this going? We can keep it going, but let's keep it in check. I don't want shit from you outside of your company in the moments that we have, and nothing more or nothing less.
And if you know you're not willing to provide that, then find that elsewhere. And I am an advocate for letting people go, especially if you know that we don't want the same thing at the same time. Let them go. Because it's like, why are you holding them back from potential, from like betterment, from opportunities, from being happy? Like, that's the whole gist of it, is just to be happy. And if you know that this person is like madly, truly, deeply in love with you, and once you let them go, they may realize they're actually not, or it may just be clouded at that moment, or, you know, there's rose-colored glasses on. You just leave it alone. Just let them go. Just let them do their thing. Let people be happy, and you'll find happiness as well. If you're happier having casual relationships, then do so. If that person is happy with commitment and stability and all that stuff like that, let them go be happy there. I don't see there's always going to be somebody whose path crosses with yours that may want exactly what you want. But don't do it at the expense of other people's feelings. And like we said, being people who were on the receiving ends of that, our feelings could have been spared a lot better.
With just straight up honesty.
And also being the person who was probably giving that as well, I decided to be honest. And it actually was a benefit to me as well, being honest on the giving out end of it as well.
Yeah.
So
you gotta keep it a buck.
And this is not to like make you feel bad, but it's the honest truth. Like,
no, it's just
you gotta say it with your chest.
Listen, not the three of us ain't punks out here, but we think small picture and big picture.
Yeah.
So especially in relationships, feelings and emotions, we know how people react to those things, whether it be joy, anger, whatever.
Yeah.
we see the different reactions to those things on a regular basis from our 3 different perspectives, jobs, and experiences. Mm-hmm. So to be able to be in a position to help someone avoid that is just the best option to us, because while the 3 of us are flawed, we are humans. The 3 of us have been through shit where we don't want anyone else to ever have to go through that ever again. Yeah. So if I can help avoid that for someone, that's what I want. Even if it is in that moment crushing that for that person, because you're letting them go to seek other opportunities. Because if someone can stay on your hook for a long time, especially when there's pussy involved, no. God, pussy or dick, either one are trifling.
That's why, listen. That's why Sex I'm very happy. Sex is a complicated
game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. So especially with sex in the equation, just let that person go and let them be. Because dickmatized, pussymatized, whatever you like-atized, it will fuck your head up. And you will not see the red flags, no matter how big or small they are.
That's why I always say I appreciate that experience. Like, as much as I loathe the person that I experienced this with, I appreciate the knowledge I gained from that experience. Because it showed me what I can and cannot tolerate. So there's always a learning experience on either end. And on the end of being the, what is it, the giver? Like, what do we call this? Like... being on the end who want the casual side of it. Being casual?
There's the settler and the settlee.
Aren't they the same thing?
Wait, no. There's someone who's settling and there's someone who's trying to reach for the stars. Who's getting the better end of the deal.
Understand. Yes, so you're the settlee. You're getting the better end of the deal. Cause
I'm in the explorer.
You're the explorer. You're not the pilgrimer. So on the explorer end of it, like, being honest actually gets you a lot more further than not being honest about it. So that's
also, if it,
I think that's what we're saying unanimously.
With the right person, say even if that casual sex is what you want, with the right person, it could be more fun if you're just completely and utterly honest. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because that develops a sense of trust. Yeah. That you have to set
and understanding. And that's what you need the biggest.
Trust is. Yes. So while it might not work out for this person, if you keep it a buck, you're going to have so much more fun with people and just keeping it so honest and unapologetic. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's some true dickmatized, pussymatized
So
shit.
Just be honest about the way you're feeling and your needs and your wants from it. If he or she wants something more, then let them go. Yeah. Let them leave the nest. Let them frolic. Let them fly like a bird. Fly. Yep. So this is a unanimous decision. Be honest and let them fly if they want to fly.
Yeah, but we need a freaking sound mixer.
I
know. Gosh, man. We got one job.
I know, one job.
No, we got too many jobs. That's the fucking problem.
You got that right.
All right. Since we're already on this rant, Ray, I just need to let the world know. Okay, so the reason for the break is because life is too fucking much. This adulthood card has way more clauses and terms and conditions than I'm prepared for.
We did not sign up for all this.
I did not sign up for all this shit. Like, I'm so tired. Everybody just thinks their shit stinks more than the other person. And I'm so fucking tired of the entitlement from some people. Facts. Like, oh, I need this right now. Okay, but bitch, I got 15 other people who need something right now. The fuck are you talking about?
Like, to send the message across and I'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll get to it when I get to it.
Yeah. And the not wanting to make things be at peace in order to get the best profitability. Like, that shit is, between those two, I fucking can't. Yeah. Like, those have been my biggest stresses the last 2 fucking months. The entitlement and motherfuckers not doing what's needed for their people.
Yeah.
Yup.
God, do you hear us?
Send some help.
Help.
They need some milk.
I need all the things. I need a housekeeper. I need an assistant. I need a
financial advisor.
I need a financial advisor. I need a local friend. Like, I just need a lot of things, and not everybody can help me. And I just have to accept that shit, and it's not fun.
It's not fun.
God damn it.
Where'd we go wrong?
But what makes it worse is that, like, I know I'm dramatic as fuck, but like in general, like these overwhelming feelings of just like feeling like just lack thereof.
Mm-hmm.
It's so overwhelming, but then you think about people who are doing way less than you, and not less in the sense of like in any entitlement, just they don't make as much money, or they don't have as many opportunities, or they just don't have the life that I have. And you're like, fuck, god damn it.
And it makes you feel bad for feeling that way.
Well, and the other thing too is, which I'm even struggling with, it's like you just gotta remember that everybody has their own type of path.
Yeah, everybody has their own journey.
Has their own time that they go through.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like it's gonna be low, and it's gonna be very low, and then you're gonna have a high, and it's gonna go medium level.
Yeah, you see, that's how I feel. Like I'm like right in the middle of both of you, where I'm just like, what am I complaining about? Like, people complain about way more. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have, like, what am I complaining about? Like, that's what I always ask myself. And then I'm just like, you know what? It's not that serious. Yeah, there's people in the world that goes through worse shit, and that's where I always have to like woosah myself.
Mm-hmm. See, but then you go from that mindset to also being like, hold up, I'm a motherfucking bad bitch. I get shit done. I don't know who the fuck they think they talking to.
Like, I gotta do what I gotta do to do what I gotta do.
The fuck?
You get it. Makes sense what you say. Like, I do what I gotta do to do what I gotta do.
Yeah. Like, the fuck? I make this shit happen.
Is there more champagne?
She needs champagne showers.
I need the champagne. It's not that much.
But it's fucking real. Like, you be like, yo, like, I have to start demanding things for myself, because if I don't, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. So it's like the battlement of the humble yourself to the, oh, I'm not worthy, to the, oh, no, bitch, you are worthy, and then some. Yeah. It's the guilt from all three sides, and then all the external shit.
Yeah. And you know what, too? It's like also, like, you have to sit back and take a moment to be like, and I have to remind myself about this all the time, like, bitch, deal with your shit before you deal with other people's shit. Yes. And that's something I always have to remind myself about, where it's just like, you have shit to deal with. Go deal with it. Yeah. Fucking deal with it.
If you don't have a child shit, like literal shit of a child, deal with your own.
100%. Like, I agree.
You have your own priority that you need to deal with, and it's a bit too much. So just deal with that as the time comes.
Because it turns into one of those type of situations where it's just like, how can you show up for other people if you can't even show up for yourself? Mm-hmm. So you just got to make sure that you show up for yourself and like take care of yourself and humble yourself at the same time.
Example, this trip.
Yeah.
Like, I can honestly say, like, coming from a person who's been so selfish for so long, only having to think about my actions and thoughts and consequences, now being in a couple, having to think about like how what I do affects them. Yeah. Having to figure out those boundaries and be like, no, he'll be the fuck all right. And oh, wait, no, you need to do a little bit more, bitch. You
like, you're being a little selfish here.
You're being too selfish. Like, having to figure out that borderline of where the perfect Melissa is.
But you know what? It's a learning experience. Like, trial and error. Like, you don't know. You can't figure out what those things are if an error hasn't been made. Like, you just can't say like, oh, this is where the border is. Like, because it may be completely different than what you thought it was. So I honestly think that it is trial and error. Like, and I really think
you have to also depend it on the person you're with.
Right. And that's why I say like, for me, it's kind of like across all relationships. Like, I think there is like boundaries that may need to be tested in order to know exactly what is tolerable and what isn't. If that makes sense.
It does, because this is one thing I've struggled with as becoming an adult. Mm-hmm. You always hear about ultimatums.
Right.
And any time I ever had to think about an ultimatum,
I'm like, why does there have to be?
It wasn't an ultimatum. It was a question that it has a right and a wrong answer. If you choose wrong, here are the consequences. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you choose right, here's what's going to happen. Yeah. It's not an ultimatum. You have to make a choice.
Right. Yeah. You know what I always say that?
The reason why we're in this predicament.
That's what an ultimatum is. An ultimatum is a choice that has to be made. But for me, I'm like, and I think maybe, I don't know if I've gotten like this within the last couple of years or I've always been like this. And I think it's a little bit maybe a mix of both. Where I'm just like, why do there always have to be an ultimatum? Like, why can't we sit down, have a conversation, and find the gray area and make a compromise based off of that?
Oh no, I agree.
In some situations, I definitely do agree that there needs to be a this or that. Like, there can't be both. But overall, and I think especially when it comes to relationships and being in a relationship, especially with the person that I'm in one with, it's like we have to find a compromise. Like, yes, we can settle to say like, okay, today this is going to be the gray area and we find ourselves here. And then maybe tomorrow we'll have to make a final decision and be like, this is it. That's it. Hands down. That's it. That's it. And that's something that I've had to learn as well. Like, you have to find a gray area, especially when it comes to your relationship, because a relationship is just a fucking gray area the whole time.
I 1,000% agree with you. And when I say a example of ultimatums, I mean only in the predicaments where I've gotten to the point where I've given them X amount of chances.
Oh yeah, no, that's different. Yeah,
and they still haven't met the substandard that what I have for what I want for myself. Yeah, and now it's at the point of either you're gonna do this or you're gonna do that.
Got it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
the fuckboy situation. Yeah,
straight up.
There's just
ultimatums being made.
Ultimatums were made and choices were made.
But you know what? I think that growing up, especially as millennials, and I do want to say that pop culture and movies and televisions and rom-coms gave ultimatum a bad meaning.
It did.
And it's so fucked up
and it's
because
always on the female side.
Yes.
And I'm also going to say this. And I don't know if it's the cynic in me or maybe it's the pessimistic side coming out of me. Like, I don't think that you can love people unconditionally. I think love is conditional. There's conditions for everything. That's like telling me that's like me saying, if you cheat on me, I'm going to take you back because I love you unconditionally. No, cheating is my condition. Yeah. Like, if you entertain anyone the way you're supposed to entertain me as my partner, and I'm choosing to lay in bed with you every night and share a space, and you cheat on me,
and my body,
that's my condition. That's my condition. Yeah. So I don't think anybody loves this condition. Just like how there's parents who would disown their children if they go to jail, love somebody of the same sex. Those are conditions. No love is unconditioned. I think the only people who can feel, the only things that can feel unconditional love are animals. Yeah. There's dog world. Like, you can beat a dog and that dog will still fucking love you, and it makes no sense. Yeah. That's unconditioned. Yeah.
No, love is seeing the things that you love the most and seeing that they far outweigh the things that you don't like.
100%.
Because the stuff that you don't like, it's still, there's so many pros that come with the cons that you can forgive the cons and even help, like, not even like condition them, but like show them like, yo, you don't have to do it.
Unless you're like the movie that we watched last night where you secretly love to trap women in your basement and then hold that shit back for 12 years.
I'm not a white man. Yeah. I am too real and too honest and too loud and too dramatic for all that shit.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, but I feel like for me, I'm just too logical when it comes to thinking about love and relationships. And my mind is very logic based when it comes on it. Like, if it don't make no sense, it don't make no sense. Like, that's it. If there's no reason behind, like, that can explain it, I don't want to hear it. And I think that's something that I have to work on more to understand that some things just can't be explained.
Like the supernatural.
And I find, right. See, right. But that's,
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. If it happened, it happened. But it is what it is.
I'm the complete opposite. But I'm the complete opposite. Like, I want to understand why it happened or what caused it or what can make it better in order for me to move on. And my mind is logic and problem solving based. Yeah. And that's something that I do find it's kind of like it's kind of rocky.
No, because a lot of people don't have logic. They don't have common sense.
No, I don't even think it's that. I think some people just have more of like an idealistic way of viewing things.
It's idealistic, but it's also
like, this is the idea that you have, so it should.
It's the fantasies like that they create in their own life.
Right, but I'm realistic, where it's just like
things are gonna happen,
and then I have to be okay with it. I need to have a plan. I need to think about it now. Yeah. Just in case, so I can build a plan in the meantime. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
I don't see the problem.
I'm like, listen, maybe it's just my character flaw. I don't fucking know, but
it's not a flaw.
I'm running with it.
It's relatable.
I'm running with it
at all, because I admire how you handled your love life versus how I handle it. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't change it.
Yeah. I mean, because everybody experiences things differently. You understand?
Exactly.
And I think
like the way you handled yours, because it was such a mature, selfish but worthy reason to handle how you handled it. Because at the end of the day, you are now in a position where I'm so happy for you. It's sickening.
Thank you.
Because you deserve all the happiness in the world. You help all of us through so much shit. I'm about to cry.
Please don't cry.
But
please don't cry. Please don't cry.
You deserve
don't do
all
that.
of it. And
don't do that.
The way you handle your love life from the time we've met to now is beautiful, and I'm so happy for where you're at right now.
But I don't think you understand.
And I'm a root for you.
But I don't think you guys also understand like the impact you guys also had on that. Because remember, I'm a very like reserved in myself type of person as well. So it's just like having friends who are like willing, like having people around me, period, who are willing to like take those risks that I didn't want to take, and like gaining secondhand experience from it also plays a huge part. And I don't think people I don't think people understand how important that is as well. Like the influence you may have on people without even realizing you have an influence.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people understand. I think a lot of people downplay how important that is.
Yes, they do.
So, like, I appreciate everyone in my life who has played an influence on stuff like that till this moment. Because it's important.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it really is important. Like, it really is important. Like, you may not even realize how influential you are on people.
I'm so happy to be
But everyone is. Huh?
So I'm so happy to be your guinea pig.
Well, I'm happy to be able to,
Observe,
like
notes.
put the hay down and shit like that and to take notes from it.
Feed.
She's like, she's gonna be my guinea pig. No, bitch, I got you. I will clean your wheel. I would
Your
oil your wheel, wipe all the fungi out that water bottle, refill your bowl. I got you. I will keep you afloat. I will keep you afloat as long as possible.
As long as possible.
I will be the lifeline.
Oh my gosh. No.
Yeah, but it's crazy. People don't realize how important like those first, second, and third hand experience are.
Well, that's like a part of like, I feel like all three of us can say that like the relationships we've cultivated from the time obviously of being born till now, and the ones we kept and maintain, those ones mean the most to us, because no matter what the experience has been over these times,
it shapes you.
And they push you in a direction that you obviously are in agreement with. Like the positions where we're at now, like 21-year-old me would not even think that we would be in the positions we are sitting in here right now in this weekend.
That's like 100% true.
At all.
No. It wasn't a thought.
No. Not at all. She was not even smart enough to understand that this was even a possibility.
I'm too cold. I was too cold. I'm still cold.
I probably 21-year-old me thought I was gonna still be doing the same thing at 21 that I was doing that I was gonna do at 21. Like I really think that's the process in my head. Like at that age,
I thought I was gonna be the same person, but the person at 21 and the person at 28 are two different beings.
Mm-hmm.
The self-awareness that we all have, as scary as it is, it's real, and it plays a part of who we are.
Yeah.
Well, having that self-awareness is definitely something that I've been hearing a lot lately. And what a lot of people have said that they appreciate about me is that I know what's going on with me. Yeah. Like, I know what my emotions are going through. I know what my body is going through. I know what life has ahead and what could potentially come, whether it's good or bad. And for a lot of people, they don't want to look so deep into that because it's very scary.
It's scary.
It's like looking yourself in the mirror and being shocked. Like Michael Myers is right there. But to have that awareness of it is something that a lot of people strive to have. And it's a good quality to have. Mm-hmm. And I think more people need to
be more self-aware. Yeah. I agree.
I mean, I think if people did, we wouldn't have so much ignorance on all fronts. I'm not talking about
politics
racial or issues. Race or any specific demographic.
It's a personal thing
on all fronts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just the amount of stupidness that I've seen in the last 2 months that we've been on pause. has been disgusting. Even just yesterday.
Oh,
like, I don't even I do understand, and I'm not surprised, and I'm not taken aback by anything that happens anymore.
I don't think that's why we talk much about it.
But it's shocking that we still have to keep having these stupid conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, did you hear about what happened?
It's like,
Are you surprised?
no.
Like, it's America.
It's so tiring to even have to repeat statements like that. Like, I'm not surprised.
You know, the amount of trials that are going on.
Sometimes I kind of want to be
At the
surprised.
same time.
Yeah, it's like, Dad, 2020 really put y'all on pause.
But they don't change. The verdict is still the same.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a different jury, and really, it's just
A
one-sided.
different state, so a different type of politics that you have to play in the state that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Like where we're at now. Terrifying place. Not leaving the cabin.
Nope. All doors locked. All windows locked.
Not
Check.
playing this shit.
I'll
I'll fuck a motherfucker up.
Right.
I will beat them with this wooden peg. I do not care.
Yeah.
Wait, that felt good.
Yes.
See, another good one.
We're 46 minutes in.
Beautiful.
For a bonus episode, that's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, all right. We're going to figure out what's going to happen with season 2, but thank you so much for joining us on our little bonus episode. Thank you for our listener letters.
Yes, if you want to add more to the chat, go to our link in the bio on all platforms and go to the chat Tea Things and input your submission and we can talk about it. It's all anonymous. You don't have to be known.
Yes.
And we'll just talk about it and give us our advice.
I want to know.
I would like if they had like a little code name though.
Your name.
So that way they know we're talking about them specifically.
Yeah. Well, that last one had the code name. How to be a good person.
Your name.
So I like that.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Leave a code name so you can know who you are.
Anonymous? That was a Marion in it real quick.
Like the quiet storm.
I love how long it took you guys to catch on.
No, we heard you.
That was great.
It was like background.
Anyway, everybody, check the link in the bio for all things high tea, and we will see you on season 4.
Also, keep listening to our past seasons. Rate, review, subscribe, comment, all the things. Mm-hmm. We love you. We've missed you. And we'll see you for next season.
Yay!
Girls Trip, we out. About to get drunk.
Deuces.
Bye.